I'd like to call this Plain Township Board of Zoning Appeals regular meeting to order, dated February 2nd, 2022. I'd like to, we should do the attendance roll call.
Ms. Zerwa.
Here.
Mr. Sutton.
Here.
Mr. Souls.
Present.
Mr. Beck.
Here.
Mr. Pusilides.
Here.
Mr. Reichel.
Present. I'd like to introduce the members of the board. Seated to my far right over here is Tia Cernova. She's our alternate member on the board. Seated next to her in the white shirt is Mr. Robert Souls. My immediate right is Mr. Demetrius Pusilides. To my immediate left is Mr. Richard Beck. Seated next to him is Mr. Jeff Sutton, and my far left is our zoning director, Thomas Farrar. Are there any changes to the agenda this evening?
None from zoning.
None heard, we'll move on. Statement of duties. Folks, I will not read the statement of duties out loud. It's a couple pages long and you probably fall asleep. So it is on record. If you want to read them, just contact Mr. Farrar and he can give you that detailed information. Let's go for an approval of the January 5th, 2022 meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the January 5th, 2022 minutes.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Sutton.
Yes.
Mr. Souls.
Abstain.
Mr. Beck.
Yes.
Mr. Pusilides.
Yes.
Mr. Reichel.
Abstain. Is there any unfinished business to be brought before the board this evening? Hearing none, we'll move on to new business. And before we can get to tonight's appeal, apparently this was postponed from the last month's meeting, and is our election of officers. So, gentlemen, lady and gentlemen, traditionally we keep our seats for 2 years and rotate.
You've been 2 years?
Yeah, I just asked Tom, and this was the end of my second year. And it generally passes to the vice. Well, I'm going to make a motion that Mr. Pusilides become our new chairman.
Second.
Roll call vote. Oh, any other discussion? I'm sorry. Anybody else want to throw their hat in the ring, the proverbial ring? Roll call vote.
Ms. Zerwa.
Yes.
Mr. Sutton.
Yes.
Mr. Souls.
Yes.
Mr. Beck.
Yes.
Mr. Pusilides.
I'll abstain from voting for myself.
And Mr. Reichel.
Yes. So, next year we will have Mr. Pusilides as our chairman. This year. But,
He's got the whole year.
he's got the whole year, except January. Okay, do I have a motion for electing our vice chairman for this year?
I'll move to have Jeff Sutton be our vice chairman for this year.
Second. Second. Anyone else have any comments in regard? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Zerwa.
Yes.
Mr. Sutton.
Abstain.
Mr. Souls.
Yes.
Mr. Beck.
Yes.
Mr. Pusilides.
Yes.
And Mr. Reichel.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Sutton will be our vice chairman for the upcoming year. And we will go to secretary. How would you? Go ahead.
I move that we have Rick Beck be our secretary for this year.
I will second that because he does such a fantastic job.
He does do.
Outstanding.
He does do a fantastic job. And I was just gonna make a motion that I really didn't want the position due to the upcoming stuff I have on my calendar this year. And, in fact, starting tonight with this winter storm coming in, so. So who made that motion?
I did.
Okay. And Mr. Souls.
Second, yes.
Roll call vote.
Ms. Arva,
Yes.
Mr. Sutton,
Yes.
Mr. Souls,
Yes.
Mr. Beck,
Abstain.
Mr. Buzzardi.
Yes.
Mr. Reichel.
Yes. Mr. Beck will be our secretary for the upcoming year. Okay, we have do we have representation?
I believe we do, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have one appeal on the docket this evening, and that is appeal number 1339-22. Applicant and owner, Palmetto Solar LLC, 3179 Penn Avenue, number 201, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15201. Cody DeWitt, 3848 Dolphin Drive, Northeast Canton, Ohio, 44721. Applicant requests a conditional use permit to place an accessory solar system on the roof of the residence on the property located at 3848 Dolphin Drive, Northeast Canton, Ohio, 44721. This would be parcel 52-11-391, and the appropriate section of our zoning is section 702.2 B10, conditionally permitted uses. As a conditionally permitted use, an accessory solar energy system in any zoning district requires the Board of Zoning Appeals approval. We do, like we always do, have a comment that was given to us by the Plain Township Fire Department. And this is to Timothy Reichel, Chairman, from Scott Kelly, Inspector, dated January 6, 2022. The review of appeal, Appeal 1339-22. The Fire Department has no recommendations or suggestions regarding this appeal. Thank you for your consideration, Scott Kelly, Inspector. Now, if anyone is going to speak this evening, they should have signed in at the back table back there. And what I'd like to do now, anybody who is going to speak this evening, please stand and raise your right hand.
You want me to come up here and talk? I'm a representative.
Yeah, go ahead and come on up, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the information you are about to present is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir, state your name and address for the record, please, and then present your appeal.
My name is Grant Savek. My address is 1646 Chatham Avenue, Northeast, North Canton, Ohio. I'm here with, from Palmetto for the permit for Cody DeWitt at 3848 Dolphin Drive, Northeast. Do you guys have the engineering plan?
Yes. Yes, we do. These have been fairly common lately with the, you've got all the approvals I see from AEP Ohio. Again, with the rise of solar, popularity of solar, we see quite a few of these. Everything looks to be in order. Just giving it a brief run through. Okay, is there anyone else to speak for the appeal? Is there anyone here to speak against the appeal? Any comments from the board? Hearing none, we'll move to the roll call vote, please.
Make a motion.
Excuse me, make a motion, and that is Mr. Souls.
With respect to Appeal 1339-22, applicant owner Palmetto Solar of 3179 Penn Avenue, number 201, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on behalf of Cody DeWitt, 3848 Dauphin Drive, Northeast Canton, Ohio. Applicant is requesting a conditional use permit to place an accessory solar system on the roof of the residence on the property located at 3848 Dauphin Drive, Northeast Canton, parcel 52-11391, under section 702.2 B10, conditionally permitted uses. As a conditionally permitted use, an accessory solar energy system in any zoning district requires Board of Zoning Appeals approval. Now therefore be hereby resolved by the Plain Township Board of Zoning Appeals to grant the request.
I will second that. Now we may, again, after reading that, do we have any comments from the board? Any
Just-
questions?
It just appears based upon section 702.2 B10 that all of the conditions necessary have been demonstrated in documentation submitted to the board, so I would be in favor of this appeal.
Thank you, Mr. Solz. We will proceed to a roll call vote, please. Mr. Ferrara?
Who seconded?
I did.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Very good.
I think Jeff and I were fighting for it.
But you're the boss.
Mr. Sutton,
Yes.
Mr. Solz,
Yes.
Mr. Beck,
Yes.
Mr. Bouzalides,
Yes.
and Mr. Reichel.
Yes. The appeal has been granted, and do you guys install even in the winter?
Oh, yeah, we installed today.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, be safe.
We rescheduled some installs for tomorrow, though. Yeah.
I was gonna say, be careful. This
Yeah.
stuff could all turn to ice before the night's over, so.
Do you charter in the permitting process eventually, once we continue to keep doing this? Does it ever get chartered in where it's just automatic?
It'll need a text amendment
Okay,
to our resolution, and that's always a possibility.
okay.
Yeah, and that's not before this board, that's before our zoning commission. They're the ones that write the resolutions and things of that nature, so.
Gotcha.
Speak with Tom and see what you can do.
Okay.
Don't come back with a permit until Monday or after, or give us a call.
Okay, no
And,
problem.
as soon as it's ready, Megan will give you a call or email, and if not, go ahead and call us.
We can pick it up.
We won't be able to do it till Monday.
No worries. All right, thanks, guys, have a good night.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Sutton,
Yes.
Mr. Solz,
Yes.
Mr. Beck, Mr. Bouzalides,
Yes.
Mr. Reichel.
Yes.
All right.
This meeting is adjourned.
Next one.
Thank you, sir.